We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what did you guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back for you with another new part of What If Izuku Was the Son of Vergil? Or rather, what if Izuku was Nero's younger brother? This is finally part one, and the last part was the origin on how Vergil met with that of Inko, and how they basically got together, how they got married, and also how the plots of DMC merged with that of the plots of, well, MHA as well, with Vergil basically being more wanting power to protect that of his new family after all, while everything else was basically going on behind the scenes. Not only that, with now Nero aware that he now has not just a father and an uncle, but also a younger brother as well, somewhere in Japan. So with all that said, let's get into this, shall we guys? Izuku Midoriya, or rather, Izuku Sparda, son of Inko Midoriya or Inko Sparda, and of Vergil Sparda, nephew of Dante Sparda, the Devil Hunter, younger brother of Nero Sparda, the Devil Bringer, and grandson of the Dark Knight Sparda. Izuku is basically your everyday average kid in Japan, always admired and looked up to heroes as a kid, especially one hero, and that being All Might. Ever since his debut, he couldn't help but look up to heroes, and seeing heroes who protect the innocent and save people as the coolest thing in the world. As he also wanted to wait until the day once he get his quirk, he could work hard alongside that of his friends and classmates to become a great and powerful hero that protects everybody with a smile. Unfortunately, easier said than done. On a visit to that of the quirk doctor, their doctor, basically a somewhat, roundish man with that of yellow mechanized glasses and a bushy mustache that's also bald, basically carelessly not even bothering, as he says, "Sorry kid, not gonna happen," as those words basically shattered the 4-year-old kid, as the doctor couldn't help but bring up the fact that, he brings up the fact that Izuku has that of 2 joints in his pinky toe, which are basically signs that a person, doesn't have, they don't have a quirk after all. However, it is shown that maybe that it is possible for those, it's mainly those for emitter type quirks. However, it is possible for those with a transformation and possibly mutant type quirks have that of 2 joint pinky toes. However, the mutations and transformations always are a lot more prevalent. But the double joints are always more prevalent in those who are quirkless though. With then hearing this, Inko saying, "But how is that even possible?" With then saying, "Tell me, ma'am, what is your quirk and your husband's quirk?" With then Inko saying, "Well, my quirk just allows me to attract that of small objects. Nothing bigger than anything that's, 50 milligrams. However, my husband, on the other hand, he's actually quirkless. Within, soon hearing that, the doctor couldn't help but raise an eyebrow, saying, "Is that so?" Within, saying, "Yes." Within, as the man can help but cross his arms, saying, "It's quite rare, to be honest. Normally, it's a mother's, recessive genes that are more dominant when it comes to children, especially when it comes to having their quirks, though. It's more rare for that of a child to gain that of their father's quirk. It's even more rare if they have that of a mutation that's completely different from both their quirks, and it's something new or a mix of the two. But it's the absolute rarest for them to have that of a full quirkless child, even with that of one of the parents being quirkless as well. So to be fair, I'm guessing it's more surprising that the father's genes are more superior to that of your own, Miss Midoriya. Within hearing all that, Inko saying, "I see, but even so," within, she's standing up saying, we don't have anything to worry about. Come on, Izuku." But then, Izuku's still basically shocked and terrified as grabbing Izuku's hand and leading him out. Within, soon, the doctor couldn't help but say, to a quirkless parent, you would think that somebody that's this old wouldn't be around unless it's basically the elderly, around that of their 60s or 70s actually, and yet there's a person most likely in that of their late 30s or early 40s that's quirkless. Normally, being quirkless is nothing but a death sentence. Well then, this is going to be interesting. Interesting indeed. I wonder who this, quirkless man is. Arriving back home, wanting to cheer up Izuku, as then, soon, as Inko puts on that of All Might's debut video once again to cheer up him, as the green-net young boy with that of the diamond-shaped freckles on each cheek and the large emerald green eyes, can up and say, "He's so cool, Mom. Always smiling, always there to help those in need. So I wanted to be a hero just like him. So please, is it really? Can I really be a hero just like him?" As Izuku was smiling, while tears continue to basically come down his eyes. Soon, as Inko was about to say something, the door soon opens, saying, "I'm home," as it being Vergil. Soon, Inko saying, "Oh, welcome back, honey. Did you," saying, "Don't worry, I took care of my job. It's nothing too major. Should be getting paid possibly by tomorrow, though." So how did the appointment as Vergil looks at that of Izuku crying, as he couldn't help but feel like there's a pang in that of his cold, somewhat darkened heart, saying, "What has happened?" As then, Inko could feel that of the tone shift in that of her husband, saying, "Oh, you see, we went to the quirk doctor and, let me guess, Izuku's quirkless. Am I correct?" Within, blinking multiple times, saying, "Yes, actually. How did you?" "Kind of figured as much. My brother and I were also quirkless. Same as our father as well." Within, Inko saying, I didn't know," saying, "No, it's my own fault. I didn't say anything about it. However, I'm guessing the man basically said that Izuku wouldn't be able to be a hero without one." Within, Inko couldn't help but shake her head in that of acknowledgement. Within, saying, insolent humans that know nothing of the true world." Within, Inko saying, "Vergil?" saying, "It's all right. Let me talk to Izuku." Within, going to that of his son, as then saying, "So, do you really believe those words the man says?" Within, Izuku looking at that of his father, saying, "Daddy?" saying, "Do you believe in those words? Answer me, Izuku." Within, Izuku, as his smile begins to Fate begins to that falter as he tries to wipe away that of his tears, but they still keep coming down saying, I still want to be a hero. Is that wrong? Is it impossible? Within, soon Vergil saying, personally, yes, it is impossible to be a hero without a quirk. Within, soon, he's Inko saying, Vergil, as he raises his hand to that of his wife, before continuing saying, that's how society sees it. They see that those without quirks can never be heroes. But I think it's time that somebody prove them wrong. Why not you, Izuku? Why don't you prove them wrong? Within, hearing that, saying, you really think I can be a hero? Saying, I know you can, because you have the blood of Sparta running through your veins. Someday in the future, Izuku, you'll learn, you'll know the truth of who you truly are deep down. And when that time comes, you need to be prepared. Prepared for anything that comes your way. So work hard to be a hero, the hero that you want to be. Within, after hearing that, Izuku begins to cry again, before then hugging that of his father, saying, thank you, Daddy. That's what I wanted to hear. Within, Vergil wrapping only one arm around that of his son, hugging him as well. With Inko couldn't help but smile and cry as well. Soon after, Izuku literally was told everybody that he's quirkless, which soon changed that of his dynamic around that of his classmates and his former childhood best friend, Katsuki Bakugo. The two were inseparable as little kids, and even when found out that he was quirkless, Katsuki didn't really bother him that much at first. Honestly, he didn't even think much of it, to be fair. However, that all changed with one incident, when Bakugo fell over a log into that of a small creek river. Izuku offered up his hand to his friend, asking if he's okay. However, that was basically the wrong thing to do to Bakugo, offering up his hand to somebody like him, somebody who has been told to be the strongest, to become the strongest, to somebody who was destined to be the number one hero due to his quirk alone, being offered a helping hand by that of a quirkless freak, in his eyes, is being the biggest form of being looked down upon by everybody. Since that day, Bakugo has done nothing but bully and look down on Izuku. And since Bakugo was popular due to his quirk alone, everybody else tagged in as well, forcing as Izuku's childhood has been turned to a hell. And that was when Vergil left, Izuku was given a gift by his father at the age of 5. The first one was that of two katanas, as that of green wrapping around that of the hilt, and a black guard, as these would be the katanas where he basically infused them with that of his demonic essence, making them somewhat like magical swords like that of Yamato in Rebellion, as he calls them, Fang and Claw. Separately, that's what they're called, but together they're called Kibasume. And secretly, he also gave that of the devil arms that he gained from killing that one devil and that one job to Izuku like he promised. As in time, and when he's ready, he would awaken that devil arm. A few days later, this was also when he wanted to find Yamato, and then the events of DMC 5 began. Through those 5 years, Izuku's life has not gotten easier. Still basically looked down upon and treated like crap. On his 10th birthday, all of that changed when his first interactions with that of the demons first happened. Izuku was going out, wanting to buy that of a limited edition All Might action figure, and was able to save up at least a little bit of money to gain it from his mom, and from also a lot of other, surprisingly a few people around that in the neighborhood who actually liked Vergil and wanted to look after both Izuku and Inko. as a favor for helping them when killing certain demons after all. However, currently right now, Izuku, after waiting at least out of several hours in line for that of the limited edition All Might figurine that showed him in that of his, earlier years when he was in America, on his way back home, he was soon almost about to be ambushed by that of three low-class demons, as they could smell his blood, the blood of Sparta, flowing through that of Izuku's veins. As Izuku, unaware of this, however, part of him was aware. The part of him that was growing in that of sixth sense when it comes to demonic entities. He always had this sense when he was around that of his own father, but he thought it was just a connection between the two of them, one that he doesn't have with that of his mother. But right now, it's telling him to run. As Izuku, not listening to that of the voice in his head, not aware why he's listening to it, as he continues running and running and running, as he heads into that of an alleyway, until soon one of the demons came down and lunged right at that of Izuku, as it has that of tall and lanky arms with that of massive claws, as its singular red eye looks right at that of Izuku. But then Izuku couldn't help but say, "Oh my, what a villain! Villains!" But then soon the other two demons also come into the alleyway, crawling on that of the tunnelway. Within soon, Izuku realizing, am I going to die? I don't want to die here. I can't die. Within soon, without warning, Izuku's emotions, his anger, his fear begins to consume him, as then emerging from that of his body being that of the devil arm given to him by Vergil. At the exact same time, Izuku's green hair turns white, just like that as Vergil. However, his white hair he's always had that of white hair. However, they were more of highlights, as his hair was more similar to that of Inko's after all. Within, soon seeing that of the blade in his hands, as he grabs it, within, with that of a serious and determined look on his face, he grabs it. Within, seeing that of the sword, as the wing-like whip-like sword, with that of the red and blue bladed edges. Within, soon, the demons could feel that of the menace coming off of it, especially realizing that Izuku has a devil arm. Within, with one solitary slash, the feather-like blades extend straight into that of the demon right in front of him, slashing it right into pieces as blood begins to spill. Within, soon, the other two demons see this, retracting that of the wing, the feather-like blades, before then swinging to the side behind him, slashing them as well, killing them in one hit. Within, soon, Izuku, having that, now basically trying to take a deep breath, as a 10-year-old boy couldn't help but feel a little bit more better now. Since then, Izuku's life changed, as he wants to know, as when seeing her son basically came back, she was worried, especially given the fact that his hair is now white, just like Vergil's. Originally, she thought that Izuku dyed his hair, but trying to wash out his hair multiple times, and realized that his hair is now fully turned white, just like Vergil's. However, you could still see that there's still a little bit of green of her hair and that of Izuku as well. Just small highlights. Not to mention, since then, Inko begins to explain about that of Vergil and about Izuku's true last name and Vergil's last name. It isn't Midoriya, but it's actually Sparda. As she begins to explain that of, Vergil's lineage. As, of course, Vergil told Inko everything about who he truly was and about the world that they truly live in, not wanting to hide anything from that of his wife, after all. He told her about his past, his family, and about what he truly is, a half-demon. As originally, Vergil lost his entire family, also believing that he was betrayed by that family too, wanting to gain more power to not feel weak and powerless anymore. He did some horrible things that he's not really truly proud of. But then again, he was a half demon, and that of his past pain is no excuse after all. After being controlled by that of Izuku's grandfather's greatest enemy, Mundus, Vergil, defeated by that of his uncle Dante, washed up on the shores of Japan and was soon saved by Inko. Since then, they've been together ever since. Within, now knowing all this, Izuku wondered why did he had to leave now? Why couldn't he tell me sooner? As Inko basically wrapping her baby boy in her arms, saying that he just wanted him to live a normal life, wanted him to live his dream, as now knowing the truth about what he truly is, a quarter demon, but still human. Does Izuku still believe he can become a hero? With now knowing this, Izuku's dream of wanting to be a hero still stands. And now what he knows what he is and what he has to work hard for it now and train to become a hero. Knowing that he always felt that he wasn't like the other kids. He always felt stronger, faster, more tougher, different. It wasn't just because of being quirkless, but now that he knows, him being a quarter demon proves it even more. And now knowing that his grandfather was a great hero too, he wants to achieve the same goal and the same status as that of the great Dark Knight Sparda. However, speaking of Sparda, a few years have gone by and Izuku looked up information on that of his grandfather. The Dark Knight Sparda was nothing but a mere legend on the internet. However, from that of occult sites and that of video essays, people says that Sparda was a hero who defended humanity in a time of need against that of his demonic brethren, roamed the world protecting the innocent from that of his own kin, and inspired many other people to stand up against that of demons. Even created that of his own order, called the Order of the Sword. However, looking it up now, they say that the Order of the Sword was actually a cult of terrorists now, and that the cult was soon taken care of and basically brought down by that of heroes, as it's basically a cover story, so people don't know about Dante and Nero, and the truth that the Order of the Sword were basically turning themselves into demons after all. But the Order did turn to a cult, so that's still somewhat accurate, to be honest. Now knowing that the truth that some people have taken that of the ideas and words of his grandfather for granted and miscommunicated what he wanted. Izuku wanted to live up to the name of the Dark Knight Sparda. Even realized that his own father didn't know what the true meaning of being a descendant of Sparda meant as well. So now Izuku wants to live up to that name. He wants to be a hero like him more than anything, as All Might inspired him to be a hero. But Sparda and his family line is what's inspiring him to be a hero more than anything. Since then, Izuku began to train day in and day out, always constantly fighting, training, and working hard to become on the same level as his father. His dad did show him at least a few moves on how he used to fight, especially using that of his new, demonic swords after all, Kibasume as well. At first, it wasn't easy basically dual-wielding two swords, honestly. Hell, far from it. But over time, his body begins to acclimate to that of the sword, to that of fighting with that of two twin swords after all. However, originally he did find out that people using that of a short sword and a long sword, while the short sword would be used mainly for guarding, the long story be used for that of offensively, but having that of two regular katanas on the other hand was a lot harder. But with that of his devil physiology and that of his abilities to basically move faster than normal people, he had a little bit of time to basically improve it. However, all that changed during that of his 13th birthday. This was during the incident that was happening in America at Red Grave City. Vergil, becoming Urizen, unleashed the Clyphod tree, and this was being broadcasted all across the world. Originally, a lot of pros wanted to get involved in this as this was becoming too dangerous, especially like those like All Might after all. However, this was an American problem, and that the American pros needed to handle it instead. However, for some reason, Izuku knew that this was happening because of Vergil. Vergil was the cause of all of this. He was thinking that telling his mom this, but telling her the truth would break her. It would cause so much pain for this woman who basically cares so deeply about her husband. So Izuku decided to keep it to himself. For the next month, Izuku continued his training while also trying to keep up to date on the incidents that was happening. Same as it was in that of the last part. Pro heroes have been trying their best to keep things in bay. However, their efforts are nothing. All until one thing, they found out that a vigilante and that a white-haired guy with that of a blue coat, a mechanical arm and that of a sword with that of a motorcycle handle, fighting against that of the demons. Within, Izuku wondering, wait, guy with white hair, blue coat, that couldn't be Dad, could it? Dad never uses a sword, would use something that crude after all. He would always go with something a lot more, traditional. It's the reason why he gave me my katanas. So who the hell is that? Within, after hearing about the news, basically going through that of his school days, as of course, people still look down on Izuku. However, Izuku is a lot more different. He's more confident in himself. Still a nervous wreck around women, of course, outside of his own mother, because that will always never change. But he's more determined to become a hero more than anything, even if he's basically a stuttering, nervous mess after all. But of course, he's got the power to back it up now. After classes ended and Izuku still keeping up on the scene, he soon found out that the tree was soon cut down. It began to fall and also began to fade from that of America, as all the pros can help but cheer in excitement, as the world can help but cheer in excitement that the whole month of chaos has now come to an end. With Izuku wondering, Dad, did you do that? Did you see the error of your ways? So why? Why haven't you come back yet? Why would you go that far? Since that day, Izuku has always been confused on that of Vergil's reasoning. If he only knew that, it would have been so simple on why he caused that much pain. A year and a half later, Izuku is now 14 years old and is beginning his last year at Aldera Junior High, as he basically is already preparing and has already applied for UA High. Of course, he's going to make it into the school. Why wouldn't he? He's a kid. He's a descendant of Sparda, and with all the training that he's been doing, such as basically killing demons here and there. However, he always heard rumors of powerful demons, stronger versions that basically could even give his father a run for their money, known as devils. He hasn't encountered one yet, but knowing his luck, sooner or later. But with even so, Izuku isn't too bothered. He knows he's got this. On his way to his school, he soon sees that of a commotion in the distance, as he couldn't help but smirk, as he knows that it's basically a battle between heroes and villains. As this Izuku Midoriya is a lot more different than that in canon, where original Izuku would basically be a scrawny 5'5" and messy greenette. This Izuku, on the other hand, Current height is basically 6 feet tall. Has quite a muscular physique, not as unnaturally muscular, but still pretty muscular. Someone on that of a Olympic swimmer level, and still has a baby face with that of his diamond-shaped freckles, of course. That will always be universal norm when it comes to Izuku. As looking at that of the situation with that of the crowd, seeing that of a gigantification villain with that of a head that's shaped like that of a shark snout, with that of brown light dreads as his hairstyle, wearing that of a sleeveless open black jacket and that of blue jean shorts as well, as he's causing quite a bit of a havoc as debris was about to fall. Within soon, that of a pretty muscular man wearing that of a blue open shirt with that of construction guards basically on that of his arms, as he wears that of light blue jeans as well with boots, as he has that of spiky white hair and that of a hazard guard on that of his forehead, as this being the pro hero Death Arms. Within soon, that of another pro wearing that of a fireman jacket, as his head looks like that of a fireman symbol, with then wearing that of a fireman hat too, as his arms also look like that of fire hoses, as this being the popular hero Backdraft, as using his quirk to basically manipulate that of water in his arms to create that of a watery rope and hazard rope to make sure that none of the civilians basically get caught up in that of the fighting. Within soon, Izuku saying, both Backdraft and Death Arms here? This is going to be interesting. Two Masafu's most popular pros. Now, it'd only be more interesting if, within soon, a lot of female spectators couldn't help but cry in that of excitement as they all say the name of one pro, Kamui Woods. As Izuku couldn't help but roll his eyes while still smiling, saying, there he is. As Kamui Woods wearing that of a blue leotard. However, what stands out the most is that of his forearms, his shins, and also his helmet is completely composed of wood due to his quirk basically allowing him to manipulate wood around that of his body. Kamui Woods is so popular mainly with that of ladies due to his stoicness and also his mysterious looks about him. No one knows what the guy really looks like. Within him, flipping in the air, dodging that of multiple debris, before then grabbing onto that of one of the trains, landing onto it, saying, "Vile villain, for causing such destruction and public distraction for that of those of the civilians of this city, you'll be paying for your actions." As the villain couldn't help but growl at that of Kamui Woods, saying, "I'll finish this here and now with my special move, Lacrima Chain Prison," as he's about to extend that of branches from his arms. Before then, soon, Izuku could hear something in the distance saying, well, looks like somebody else would be coming to the scene, and by the sound of it, they sound huge. Within, soon, hearing that of a female personally coming in, saying, "Canyon Cannon!" as it being that of a pro heroine, actually. With then, Kamui Wood seeing this, as his eyes couldn't help but bulge out in that of shock. Before then, the villain basically is knocked down onto the ground, passed out with that of one solitary kick to the face. As then, getting a better look at that of the pro heroine that came in, as she basically seems quite new to the scene, as she has that of a somewhat skin-tight, spandex costume that basically pronounced almost all of her curves, as she wears that of a domino mask with that of blue horns, as she soon basically flaunts her body a little bit, as she announced herself as the newly debuted pro, Mount Lady, as she gives a wink to that of the crowd. Within, Izuku couldn't help but roll his eyes, before then, looking around, seeing that of tons of guys basically taking pictures of her, as all of them couldn't help but mutter, "Money shot." Within, Izuku couldn't help but roll his eyes too, before pulling out that of a notebook from his book bag, and then begins to write down about that of Mount Lady, as saying, so, a gigantification quirk, pro hero named Mount Lady. I don't know, her real name hasn't been announced to the public yet. Possibly one of those pros that are probably keeping her main name a secret while possibly releasing that of her last name, possibly like that of Endeavor. Who could say? Maybe keeping it a fool's own secret like that of All Might. Doubtful. Most pros nowadays want to show off their real names mainly so they can get credit after all. As writing down every details about that of Mount Lady, from that of her costume to her quirk to other things. As a guy came up and say, so, I'm guessing you're one of those hero nerds, aren't you? Well then, Izuku saying, you could say that. Just like to keep up my date on that of pro heroes after all. Who knows what I could learn from them? Well then saying, I see, kid. Honestly, you're pretty well done. Gotta say, do you plan on becoming a hero? Well then saying, of course I am. You're looking at one of the future's best heroes. Saying, oh, aiming for number one? Like I need to be number one. Just helping people is good enough for me. After saying this, Izuku realized, crap, better get going. As soon, running through the crowd, within, unaware that the young white-haired young man is currently being watched, saying, so, that's him, Izuku Midoriya. As coming through the crowd, being that of a young man that looks like at least in his early 20s to mid-20s, with short white hair and somewhat of a pretty, handsome face, actually, as he has his hands in that of his coat pocket, saying, so, finally, so this is who you really are. Just one giant hero nerd. Looks like the bastard was right about you. Still, no point of basically talking to him like in the middle of school. Plus, as then, now getting a better look at him as this being Nero, and scratching the back of his head saying, promised Kinoue I would meet my new stepmom. Thinking, God, that sounds so weird. As Nero soon walks off, and soon heading to the address of the Midoriya residence, as it said. As for currently Izuku, he's in that of his, homeroom class, as the first day of his third year in Aldera, or being his final year. Within soon, their homeroom teacher saying, now class, now that you're all third years, you all are going to need to think about what you'll be doing for the future after you graduate. Do you go straight into that of the workforce, or do you go into high school? And what you'll do after that. So, I plan on creating that, giving you all career aptitude test, as he soon grabs a few of the papers. Within, slowly but surely, a few of the students begin to activate that of their quirks, before then tossing them up into the air, saying, but why bother? All of you plan on going to the hero track, ain't that right? Within, everybody getting excited, waving around that of their quirks, showing them off and everything. With Izuku having his feet on the desk while basically going over that of his notes on Mount Lady, while also pulling out his phone about her too, as her stats have just been shown to the public and also updated on that of the hero Wikipedia page. As her real name, Yu Takayama. Basically, she's a hero. She's a resident of Masafu. However, she can never basically get into UA or any other normal school here in Tokyo, mainly due to that of her quirk. So, she had to settle with that of living in that of the countryside, mainly to get through that of her hero education. But because of that, it basically led her less options to stand out as a pro. Hell, she didn't even make the pro scene until that of her mid-20s. She's worked as a sidekick from hero agency to hero agency, saving up money to make her own. Finally debuting as the pro that she is now. That's kind of sad, really. How can they basically hamper such an amazing and powerful quirk like this? As Izuku was thinking to himself while looking at his phone, while still writing everything down as well, He's unaware about that of Bakugo's basically ranting to himself, saying that he's going to be the greatest hero, that he plans on applying at UA, and all that other stuff, with even nearly forgetting that the fact that their teacher also brought the fact that Izuku plans on going to UA as well, which soon led to Bakugo being angry in the entire class while laughing at Izuku. However, a few of the girls in their class, on the other hand, think otherwise, actually. With then, soon, Izuku could feel something basically coming straight at him, as he soon closes that of his, hero notebook, before putting it in his bag, and then soon, jumping back on that of another student's desk, within that student basically freaking out and falls to the ground, seeing that of his own desk being hit with having an explosion. But then soon, Izuku basically getting off that of the desk before then saying, "Can I help you, Kachan? Because you just destroyed my desk for no stupid reason." And I mean, I'm not really caring, to be honest. It's school property, to be fair. And it's not like it's coming out of my paycheck. Seeing that nonchalant look and basically bored out of his mind look, too. But then, Bakugo saying, "You damn Deku, do you really you really are nonchalant to not even realize on why you..." "Oh, I'm guessing you're pissed about and found out about me going to UA, am I right?" Within, soon, Bakugo saying, that's the look. That's the look I see. That's the look that you're pissed off about me basically going to UA, saying, like a quirkless loser like you is gonna make it to..." Did you forget about me being the top of the physical exams outside of basically using quirks? Within, soon hearing that, Bakugo saying, did you also forget that I'm also the top of the school leaderboards when it comes to education too? And you always blow up about that too as well. Say, "Why you?" Basic Kachan, the only class that you excel in the most is mainly due to that of quirk academics. Is so you can basically just prove on how powerful you are is mainly due to your quirk alone. Outside of that, you're basically a one-trick pony. Within, hearing that saying, "Why you?" Within, their teacher saying, all right, that's enough, you two. Midoriya, stop antagonizing Bakugo, and Bakugo, sit back down, we got class to take care of. Within, soon, Bakugo couldn't help but huff and saying, "We're not done yet." Deku saying, "I'm pretty sure we are." Walking back to his desk and putting up his chair, he soon basically goes back to normal, putting his feet on his desk as he did before, with then grabbing that of his notebooks and getting back to what he was doing before. With then, soon Bakugo couldn't help but say, "Damn bastard, so nonchalant about it." With this. However, everybody else on the other hand, a few of the guys couldn't help but get annoyed at that of Izuku. However, there were a few girls on the other hand that had that of dreamy eyes looking straight at that of Izuku. Within soon, Nero basically talking to somebody on his phone saying, "Yeah, I've just arrived. If you could you tell that of Nico to come by to make sure to pick me up and try not to draw too much attention to her." Within on the line being that of Kyrie saying, "All right, Nero, I'll tell her. Also, did you see what your brother is like?" Saying, "Looks like the old bastard was right. Kid's way too much of a hero nerd. And I mean serious hero nerd. Brought out a freaking notebook and everything and write everything down about that of the new pro that just showed up. I think her name was Mount Lady." Within, hearing this saying, "He sounds adorable, actually." Within, soon, Nero saying, "Yeah, he looks pretty close to me, to be honest. I guess it's that Sparda look, white hair and everything." Within, soon, Kyrie saying, "Still nervous, Nero? Meeting your other relative?" Within, Nero saying, "I always thought that I was always alone outside of you and Credo. Then when I found out I have my own family, both of them basically just abandoned me soon after, just to make up for their own damn mistakes. Then when I also found out that I also have a little brother, Within, soon, Nero looks up saying, "I don't want to lose this one. Especially not to our family curse, it seems." Within hearing this, Kyrie saying, "You think you'll always do what's right, Nero. just make sure that you're there for him. Like you're there for our little girl. Within soon hearing that, Nero saying, yeah, right. Before Kirei says love you to Nero, as Nero says I love you too. Before hanging up, thinking to himself, oh boy, I gotta take care of this. Shit, man, this is really going to screw me over a bit. As Nero reaches out of the apartment, within realizing, okay, let's do this. Before then, knocking on the door, as Nero basically waits a little bit, standing in place before getting a little nervous. As soon he could hear somebody on the other side saying, I'm on my way, sorry to keep you waiting. Hello? Within, Inka opens the door and soon notices that of Nero. Within, she couldn't help but gasp before then saying, hi, I may look like somebody you know, but I'm within saying, as she steps back saying, you look like Vergil. Who are you? Within, soon, Nero could up say, it's kind of complicated. Can I come in to explain? Trust me, I'm not going to do anything weird. The sooner I says this, the better, and the sooner we can probably make this less awkward as it is. Within, soon, looking at that of Nero, she couldn't help but, Inko couldn't help but say, please come in and you can explain. After saying that, the two enter and out of the apartment. With that, the day begins to go by. As for Izuku, finally finished down all his notes on that of Mount Lady, saying, she's not half bad. She would probably make pretty high in that of the top 10 if she didn't become such a gold digger. I can probably just by looking at her, she's in it for the fame and fortune. But can't really blame her. She's been pushed aside so many times for flashy and more practical quirks. Quirks like her that basically just amplify her size, don't really do it for people as much. So she has to whore herself out even more for that of the media. Makes way too much sense. As Izuku puts away that of his book bag, before then, a few people come up right behind and right next to Izuku. However, instead of it being Bakugo and his lackeys, Izuku can up and say, hello, ladies. Within it being that of three girls from that of his class. One girl with that of blue hair, a girl with that of glasses, and also twin tail braids in front of her, hanging on her shoulders, and a girl with that of short brunette hair, as these being that of the girls that had that of dreamy eyes onto that of Izuku. Within, soon saying, can I help you ladies with something? Within, soon, the girl with that of light blue hair, as it almost looks like that of a swart, like it's basically alive actually, saying, hey, Midoriya, I was wondering if you were busy today. We were actually wondering if you were planning on going anywhere. Within, Izuku saying, actually, yeah. I was actually planning on doing a little bit of training later on. But before that, I had to make sure to get back home so I don't worry my mother. Within, the girl with that, the glasses saying, makes a lot of sense. I mean, you don't want to worry that your parents... Yeah, but before that... But to be honest, yeah, I'm pretty much busy. If girls are basically asking me if I plan on going to a cafe, not a chance. Sorry. Within, soon, the girl with that the short brunette hair saying, aw, saying, but maybe next time. You girls should get going, actually. Within, saying, okay. After that, Izuku couldn't help but say, so, how long you idiots are going to keep on scowling at me? Within, being that of Bakugo and his lackeys. Within, soon, Bakugo saying, damn you, Deku, saying, what? Wrong that not a lot of people are giving you that of are basically sucking up to you like they used to. It's not my fault that there are some people that basically know not to, worship a flaming hot garbage pile. And then, soon, Bakugo saying, oh, you want to go? Saying, nah, you're not worth my time. So, and like I said, gotta get back home before my mom gets mad after all and worries about me too much. So we gotta cut this short. Within Sue, Bakugo saying, "Don't you dare walk away from me, you quirkless bastard!" Within Izuku looking back and can't help but smirk saying, "Oh really? Quirkless bastard, huh? And me walking away from you? Truly, this is a weird world." Oh, almost forgot. Like I said, I'm too busy to deal with Yuka-chan, so I need to make this quick. Within, soon after saying that, saying, "What the hell do you?" Before then, opening that of the window in the back. Before Sue, seeing what's happening. Within, Bakugo saying, "What the? Deku, what the hell do you think you're?" Before then, jumping off that of the window. Within, both of them basically couldn't help but, all three of them couldn't help but go to the window. Before then, noticing that Izuku has already been walking off. However, on the way there, as he walks away, the three girls that he talked to also caught up with him as well, and were beginning to talk to him, given that they may not be able to spend time with him, but they decided to just walk with him for a little bit before heading off to their houses after all. Within soon, a boy with that of spiky long brunette hair could help but say, "The hell happened? When the hell did Midoriya do shit like that?" Within, the other guy basically being a bald guy with that of stretchy eyes for quirks saying, "I thought he didn't have a quirk. We're on the freaking 3rd floor. How the heck did he survive that?" As Bakugo couldn't help but grit his teeth and grind them. With then soon Bakugo saying, "Damn you, Deku. Unless that you've been hiding your quirk all this damn time, or you just reached that of a weird-ass superhuman levels, I am going to freaking murder you when I see you again." As Bakugo begins to be popping explosions in the palm of his hands. As for Izuku, he still basically walks off, already fully separated from that of the girls who were trying to, spend time with him. As he begins walking off, he begins thinking, "Dad, I'm almost there. I'm reaching for my dream like you always told me to become the very first quirkless hero." Quirkless. And yet, I'm half demon. Well, a quarter demon, actually. Wouldn't my demon physiology count as a quirks? No, it wouldn't count. My demon physiology wouldn't count as quirks. Demons have been around longer before quirks even existed, after all. So my demon abilities and superhuman strength, speed, and power wouldn't count as a quirk. It would just count as me basically having that of a edge over the genetic genes. That's all. Within, soon, Izuku couldn't help but smirk, saying, "You could say that I may be cheating, but I'm using what I was given to me at my best advantages. And besides, it's not like I'm truly at this alone." As Izuku was basically heading back home, he runs through that of an alleyway, through that of a tunnelway. As soon as he goes right through it, he would note, if he didn't keep on going, he would notice that of a sledge villain coming out of that of the sewers. However, he doesn't really care about it, thinking of it basically not even worth his time. As the villain was trying to take that of Izuku's body. However, that's when All Might soon appears and takes down the villain all by himself, without even Izuku noticing that his idol was right behind him. Going through that of the alleyway in the tunnel, before taking a right turn, notice as he's right close to that of his apartment, within soon, he was almost ran over by that of a crazy ass van that looks like it's seen better days. With then, soon, Izuku dodged out of the way saying, "What the hell? Who just drives recklessly like that?" Within, as Izuku tries to catch himself, within saying, "Hey, seriously, what the hell do you think you're doing? Do you know not when somebody's coming through? Say, hey, I should be saying the same thing about you, lady. You nearly run me over." Within, soon, getting a better look at the woman, as she's basically a slim but somewhat attractive young woman with that of curly, messy brunette hair with glasses, a yellow tank top with that of sports tape around her, and also that of short shorts with plenty of tattoos on her as well. Within, soon, she getting a better look at that of Izuku saying, "Huh? Oh, you're the little guy that bastard Nero was looking for. Within suit, Izuku saying, wait, Nero? Little guy? The hell you? Saying, look, if you need a ride to your place, I'm your girl. Just to watch that of the paint job, okay? This is still my baby after all. Within, Izuku saying, I just, who the hell even are you, woman? Within, Sue saying, pardon me, allow me to introduce myself. The name is Nicolette Goldstein, but people call me Nico for short. And you're looking at one of the best gunsmiths and also support makers in all of the world. No, but when you have one of my creations, you're going to be getting the best thing of your life. Within hearing this from the woman saying, Within Sue hearing that of her phone, as she soon basically puts it on speakerphone, saying, hello, numbnuts, I'm here, don't worry, I'm just around the corner, saying, seriously? I can almost hear that your ass is out there, actually, and you're basically, what, a corner block away, saying, yeah, I'm talking to your little brother, actually. But then, Izuku hearing that saying, wait, brother? Within, Sue Nero saying, God damn it, Nico, you didn't tell him. Did you just tell him? Saying, what? Within, Sue looking at that of Izuku saying, oh shit, I guess I did. Sorry about that, numbnuts. Within, Izuku thinking to himself, I have a brother? I knew I had family, but I knew I had an uncle named Dante, but I have a brother? Within, as this would be one of the biggest bombshells for Izuku. Heading to that of his place, Nico parks her van. Within, the two walking up the stairs. Within, soon, Izuku saying, so you're a support maker. Do you make hero gear? Saying, not really hero gear or anything like that. Heroes are too damn stuffy. I prefer making things that are basically badass as hell. And mainly, demon incarnate after all. Saying, wait, demon? Wait, are you saying that you make your support gear out of demons? Saying, well, duh. You don't get the best and the most badass materials unless it's demon made. But then Izuku saying, God, you're crazy. But I guess you can't be wrong. Some demons' bodies are a lot more stronger than what you would see from other materials after all. But it depends on the materials though. Within, soon, Nico saying, well, I'll call me damn. You actually know what I'm talking about, saying, not entirely. But I do think that there are some materials that demons are made of would be useful. Especially given I have a devil's arm inside of me. Within, soon, Nico saying, what was that? Saying, nothing. Before then, soon, Izuku and Nico arrive. As Izuku unlocks the door saying, I'm home. Within, Inko saying, welcome back, Izuku. Could you please come into the living room? Within, soon, Izuku takes off that of his shoes. However, Nico doesn't. Within, Izuku saying, could you take off your, that stupid Japanese custom. As Nico basically just tosses her boots on that of the side. Within, Izuku cannot but roll his eyes. Before soon entering out of the living room, seeing his mother, and also seeing another person that looks almost exactly like him and his father. Within seeing that of Nero, saying, hey, Izuku, was it? Saying, yeah. And you are Nero. Nero Sparta. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. For the first time, little brother. Within, Izuku saying, little brother. We are brothers. I didn't think. Yeah, neither did I. Guess Vergil is kind of a pain in the ass after all. Within, soon, offering that of his hand towards Izuku. Within, soon, Izuku shaking Nero's hand as well. As this is the reunion of two brothers. As these brothers would change Hero Society in the coming of years. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this? This is basically Izuku's origin and how he was working hard to achieve his goal of becoming a hero. with Vergil basically reassuring Izuku that he can become a hero, and him basically working hard to achieve it, he's now not going to hold anything back. Not to mention, due to now knowing that he is actually a half-demon hybrid after all, this Izuku is a lot more cocky and a lot more arrogant. However, he's still a kind-hearted and caring person that worries about other people, but he doesn't take other people's shit as well. And you've also seen that, yeah, he's also a ladies' man as well, but he's not into basically getting with any girl right now. Right, to be honest, all he cares about is being able to get into UA. After that, well, chips may fly. Also, probably might put an ad of a poll on that of, well, who should I ship Izuku with after all? However, I'm not just going to be doing that of one girl, possibly that of 3 girls actually. When it comes to an Izuku like this, 1 girl isn't enough for this guy, trust me. So yeah, any rate, with all that said, thank you all for your support and love for my channel. I really do, it really does mean a lot to me, to be honest. With all that said, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep to date with my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, hope you all take care. You know what to do, my beloved Chiro. Close us off.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!